All right, George Rose and Liam Paro. George, start with you, mate. A good press conference today. A bit of I don't know, interesting dynamic there between Nikita and Michael.
Yeah, look, they've spent way too much time together over the last 24 or so hours. They've been pretty much together since sunrise yesterday, and I don't know how long you can hate a person for, when you're around them that long. You got to get to a point where you got to have conversations, and you got to be able to talk to each other. So they were getting pretty nice, but I know that deep down still, this fight means a hell of a lot to both of them, and for the winner, there is some big accolades and big opportunities on the other side, and for the loser, it's really damaging to the reputation, and there's a big crawl back to where they want to be.
Talk to us about the fight in general. Had the face off on the river this morning. What do you make of the dynamic there, and how do they sort of match up these guys?
Yeah, look, it was fun being out there on the river. I love doing the thing I love about boxing is the exciting big time shit that you can do with boxing and putting a ring out in the middle of the Brisbane River, and having the biggest talent in Australian boxing come out there and jump in the ring and do their thing. It's exciting. It's exciting. It gets me buzzed. It annoys me that we're still so far away from the actual fight because when things like that happen, it gives me them fight week feels, and I just love them big fight week feels because this is going to be a massive fight. We've got a huge undercard and a great fight for Liam Paro on this card as well too. So this one's going to set it up for 2026. It's going to be a huge year.
Well, yourself, Liam, must be excited to be on a card like this, and you're so close now to getting that world title shot again.
Yeah, exactly. The magnitude of the fight's huge. It can potentially be just as big as the Green Mundine rivalry, which is massive. So Australian boxing needs that, and to be on the card to co-main it is huge. And the magnitude of our fight now. We just got word that they've on both sides have accepted. So we've got the title eliminator for the IBF, and can't thank No Limit enough for getting me back to this position so fast in a new division. It's exciting, and to be able to do it here is even better.
What do you know about him, and how'd you feel in your first fight a couple of months back now?
Look, Donovan's a good fighter. He's been up to the top. He unfortunately lost twice. He's shot, but I'm sure he'd be hungry to get there. I've experienced that, and I'm just as hungry, if not more, because I want to be a two division champion. But look, I was welcomed to the welterweight division with a cracker, with a hard fight, and that's what it's about. That's what it's going to be like in the top 10. We know what it's about. We've been to the top. We've dominated at the lower division, so we know what it takes to be there. And it just showed everyone the grit and the toughness and the heart I have. You're going to have to kill me to get me out of there. And I fought and beat a previous undefeated guy with one eye. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? They're not always going to be pretty, but we get it done. We win.
George, what sort of went on behind the scenes, last night to get this fight across the line?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously it started with a bit of push and shove to get there. Paddy Donovan's a big star over there. He attracts a huge following and puts on a fantastic show over there. And so ideally, I know they would have loved to have that fight over there, to be in their favour and give them every opportunity they can because they're stepping in against a former world champion and they need to be getting everything in their favour. But it hasn't worked that way. Thankfully, we reached a good fair agreement, and they actually have been a pleasure to work with, and they want this fight as much as we do because they know that what sits on the other side of it as well. So we're able to reach an agreement overnight, and that's why we're here to announce it officially today that the fight is locked in, and it is the final eliminator for the world title. So Liam Paro is back in world title contention after such a short period. We know that he's good enough to be here. But at the end of the day, it comes down to his performances as well to make sure that he's here. And, we'll do our work in the background, but it's his performances in the ring that have put him in this position to be fighting for a world title again.
Why do you win this fight, Liam?
I just believe I'm better. I do. I'm confident. Any fighter's going to think that, though. I think we've got the artillery to get it done. I think he's a lot more conventional compared to the slippery Popo. But I just think he suits us. His style. We've watched him a lot. He stands very tall. His chin's up in the air, and I'm gonna bang it and test it out.
George, back on Zerafa, what'd you make the nice guy sort of Michael persona today and over the past couple of weeks? You obviously had that run in with the journalist in Sydney last week. What'd you make of that? And yeah, what do you make of that Michael Zerafa's persona at the moment?
Look, I heard he slapped that absolute shit out of that journalist in Sydney. I heard he slapped the absolute shit out of him. So that's the only thing that I know that happened. No, he's look. It's part of what he does. The question was asked today: is it mind games? Is it trying to get into Nikita's head to put him off the fight and lull him into a false sense of security leading into this? But Nikita's a killer. Nikita's a killer. When he gets in that ring, he flicks a switch and he goes for the kill no matter what. So who knows, what his mindset is in this approach. But we know that that when he gets poked, he'll unleash with the Zerafa that we know, and he just hasn't been poked yet. We might have to get that Sydney journalist back in to poke him a few times.
Well, I heard that he was trying to get me banned from the fight. Is that true?
No, that was me. That was me.
Right,
So we were
right.
saying that Ash is sweet to come, but you're not.
Right. All right. So Tim Tszyu announcement coming up, George.
There could well be. There could well be.
Yeah, we'll get the exclusive soon, huh?
We'll get one soon. But this is the exclusive right now. You just got one. Liam
Yes.
Paro, final
Yes.
eliminator.
Yes. Liam, just before we go, your thoughts on the main event on this card?
Look, I've been asked a lot, and at the end of the day, Australian boxing wins. I just hope the best man wins. It's going to be a hell of a fight, and yeah, whoever wins, their career's going to skyrocket. Whoever doesn't is going to few fights back. But yeah, it's a win for Australian boxing. That's what I'm running with.
Beauty. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.